US and China draw for most Olympic gold medals. Helicopter flight kills pilot in Australia. Several trapped after hotel collapses in Germany. Brazilian passenger plane crash outside Sao Paulo. Chinese rocket breaks apart in low Earth orbit. Tom Cruise abseils off stadium roof.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Tuesday, August 13th, and here are your top stories. The U.S. and China each won 40 gold medals in the first ever tie in Summer Games history, with Americans pulling evens on Sunday with a victory in the final event, women's basketball. The U.S. matched China thanks to a hard-starting 67-66 win over France and a surprisingly close game for the women's basketball gold. China enters Sunday with a 39-38 lead over the U.S., but the Americans had a slight advantage as they aimed for their 8th consecutive women's basketball gold and 2nd straight women's volleyball title.
The last time the U.S. didn't win the most summer gold medals was in Beijing in 2008, when the hosts edged out the Americans in top podium finishes, 48-36. While there had been no gold medal ties in Summer Games history, there have been 3 draws in the Winter Olympics. The most recent was between Norway and Germany, each winning 14 golds in Pyeongchang 2018. The U.S. still took home the most overall medals, collecting 126 from Paris this year. The U.S. hasn't failed to win the most medals since 1992. The 40 golds out of 329 events mean the U.S. topped the podium 12.1% of the time, up slightly from Tokyo, 11.4%, but down from Rio, 15%, and London, 15.8%.
A man died after an unauthorized helicopter flight in Queensland, Australia, ended in a crash on a hotel roof early Monday morning, promoting the evacuation of hundreds of people from the building as flames engulfed the aircraft. Authorities in Cairns said they have not confirmed the identity of the pilot, the reason for the flight, or how the tourist helicopter was able to take off from Cairns Airport. A couple staying at the hotel was hospitalized for smoke inhalation, but has since been discharged. No one else on the ground was injured.
Queensland Police Service Acting Chief Superintendent Shane Holmes said it is not known if the man flying the helicopter held a pilot's license or if he worked for the company that owned the craft, Nautilus Aviation. In an unattributed written statement, Nautilus Aviation said the flight was unauthorized, but did not provide further details. Cairns Airport CEO Richard Barker said initial findings from a review on Monday showed no compromise of the airport security program or processes. About 400 people were evacuated from the hotel after the crash, which occurred in the early hours of the morning in a busy tourist district of Cairns.
2 people have died and others remain trapped after a hotel collapsed in a village in the heart of Western Germany's Mosel wine-growing region. A fire department spokesperson told CNN Wednesday that there were 14 people in the building in Grove at the time of the collapse. Trier police said at a news conference that a man and a woman have died and 3 people were trapped. One of the bodies has not yet been recovered. The trapped individuals have been able to contact police by phone, so authorities know their location and condition within the building.
While the building is still partially intact, it is shifting by 4 millimeters per hour, making rescue operations difficult. Since the hotel's ceilings have collapsed, a core drill is being used from above to try to reach the people trapped in the rubble. Around 250 personnel, including firefighters, paramedics, police, and technical relief workers, along with special forces, rescue dog teams, and drone units are on site. The lower part of the building dates back to the 17th century, while the 2 upper floors were added in 1980. Construction work had been ongoing until Tuesday. Additionally, 3 houses in the immediate vicinity of the hotel have been evacuated.
A passenger plane carrying 62 people crashed outside Sao Paulo on Friday afternoon, killing everyone on board. Dramatic footage circulating on social media showed the plane's fall and its destroyed fuselage in flames on the ground. Regional airline Vopas, which had earlier reported 57 passengers and 4 crew members, later revised the number of fatalities from 61 to 62 after confirming that another passenger was on board. All of the passengers had Brazilian documents. Portugal's foreign ministry said on Saturday that one Portuguese citizen traveling on the plane died in the crash. It is unclear if that passenger or any other victims had dual citizenship.
Flight tracking data shows that the ATR 72-500, a twin-engine turboprop plane, dropped 17,000 feet in just 1 minute. Social media videos of the crash showed the plane spiraling out of the sky before hitting the ground as people in the neighborhood shouted in fear. Another video showed the wreckage of the plane in flames on the ground. No one on the ground was hurt. The flight left Cascavel in the Brazilian state of Parana and was en route to Guarulhos in Sao Paulo state when it lost signal shortly before 1:30 p.m. It began losing altitude a minute and a half before crashing. Vopas CEO Eduardo Bush told a press conference that there is no information yet on what caused the crash.
According to multiple space debris tracking entities, one of China's Long March 6A rockets has broken apart in low Earth orbit and created a debris cloud consisting of hundreds of pieces. The rocket launched from the Taiyuan Satellite Launch Center on Tuesday to deliver 18 G60 satellites into orbit, marking the first deployment for the Shanghai Spacecom Satellite Technology Group's Thousand Cells constellation. The mega constellation of satellites will eventually include 1,296 satellites, with plans to expand the capacity to around 14,000 to rival SpaceX's Starlink satellites.
Shanghai Spacecom Satellite Technology did not respond to CNN's request for comment. The U.S. Space Command is continuing to track the debris and provide information to NASA. Rob Margetta, Public Affairs Officer at NASA headquarters, said, "There has been no immediate threat to the International Space Station observed as a result of this breakup." The amount of tracked debris beginning with more than 50 pieces tracked by Slingshot Aerospace's Global Sensor Network. The U.S. Space Command later reported tracking over 300 pieces. Radar data from the tracking organization Leo Labs now confirms at least 700 fragments, potentially more than 900.
Hollywood superstar Tom Cruise made a dramatic appearance at Saturday night's Paris 2024 closing ceremony, abseiling off the Stade de France roof. Spectators shrieked in delight as the Mission Impossible star, dressed in a leather jacket and gloves, lowered himself into the stadium while his compatriot HER performed on guitar. To mark the handover to Los Angeles, which will host the Olympics in 2028, Cruise appeared in a pre-recorded film traveling through Paris and on to the U.S., where he journeyed to the legendary Hollywood sign and unfurled the Olympic colors.
Cruise grinned as he was mobbed by a surging crowd of athletes the moment he landed in the stadium, having rappelled about 50 meters. Cruise proceeded to take the Olympic flag from American gymnast Simone Biles, before the thrilled audience watched him zip away on a motorbike. The pre-recorded clip showing his journey to LA was soundtracked by California natives Red Hot Chili Peppers. The funk rock hitmakers then delivered a live performance of their classic track Can't Stop on a palm-fringed beach in Los Angeles. Cruise is renowned for performing his own stunts. Over the last decade or so, these have included scaling Dubai's Burj Khalifa and dangling on the outside of a plane as it took off, both for the Mission Impossible series.
The answer for yesterday was A, misrepresented. In the article, she was misrepresented as an uncaring mother. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of Tom Cruise abseils of stadium roof. Number 1, abseil. 沿着绳索滑下峭壁、悬崖等，等于 rappel. The man and his son Mark had abseiled down the sheer cliffs. Number 2, legendary. 非常著名的，享有盛名的。Her patience and tact are legendary. 3, unfurl. 使卷紧的东西打开、展开。Once outside the inner breakwater, we began to unfurl all the sails. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.